Well, I know the summer heat is bearing down IceHogs fans, but we got some great news at icehogs.com and Hogs TV. Joseph Zakshevsky back with you with our special guest of the day, newly re-signed IceHogs team captain Garrett Mitchell for the upcoming 2021-22 campaign. Garrett, great to catch up with you, and it's great to have you back. The captain has returned. Walk us through some of these conversations you've been having with the management and coaching staff, because I know from our side, from the press box and from the fans' perspective, we're thrilled to see you back.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's it's been a little bit of a whirlwind here. I've got a family to kind of look after and make the choices that kind of best suit us as a family. So my oldest daughter, she'll be starting school here coming up this year. So there's a lot that goes into where we're going to play and what we're going to do. So I was obviously super excited to come back. I talked to both Bernie and to Kinger, before I'd left and kind of let them know that, there's definitely, we've made some serious strides as a team. And I think even as an organization with the younger guys that we've, put into the lineup. So it's a pretty exciting time, and I wanted to be a part of that. So I was obviously super excited to get a deal done and get it done here before, we get too far into summer and not have to go through summer, wondering and worrying about where we're going to play or what we're going to do. So, it was pretty seamless, couple conversations we had, but at the same time, it's, I'm super excited to be back.
Well, I know in talking with the coaching staff and namely Derek King, he mentioned that you were one of the guys that he really wanted to bring back, just with how you not only galvanized a very young IceHogs team on the ice, but in the locker room as well. I know last season was a shortened season for everybody and trying to get their feet wet and trying to get that first pro experience underneath their belt for most of that room, but that speaks pretty highly of what you were able to accomplish in such a short amount of time. I'd imagine you're ready to hit the ground running again and try and rebuild or kind of build back on top of what you've already started in the IceHogs dressing room.
Yeah, and I think, exactly like what you said. I think for myself, it was, we did have to work so hard to get to where we were, and that was after 30 games. And, I know we've had the conversation before about, a regular season, and that's kind of the Christmas mark where, your younger players, and we had 17 of them this past season. And so those younger players now feel like they're a part of the whole group and understand the league and understand how things really work. And I think that was one of the things that, I realized how hard we'd worked, how much effort we'd put into, getting the guys to commit to how things need to be played at the pro level. And, I always, one of the biggest reason I wanted to come back is because there is that, shiny star at the top kind of thing where you can see guys that, it's a tough thing to go from college or junior or come from Europe and jump right into a situation to play. So, I definitely saw the potential and saw where we were going towards the end of the year. We put together some awesome games. So, I'm super excited to be back and I think, obviously my family's really excited to be back, but I think at the same time, we're going to surprise some teams. I think with the youth that we had, obviously going into a new year, there's going to be a lot more adjustments. We're going to be playing in front of full buildings and traveling and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot that guys can learn even from their first to the second year.
With where this group was at the end of last season, do you feel like the IceHogs almost have a running start into training camp and into a brand new year? Because in the words of head coach Derek King, it was a 30-game training camp, if you will. A lot of guys just getting those firsts out of the way and knowing what to expect from this organization. But now you can almost pick up where you left off. Maybe some information has to be retaught or relearned, but a lot of it's already there. So there's not that feeling out process anymore.
Yeah, 100%. I think you look at the team that we had, and there's, I'm going to say majority of the team, that we put on the ice, night in and night out last year, is going to be the same as what we put out this year. And I think that, it speaks volumes that these young kids are able to take that next step, and that the organization has faith in those guys to take that step. So we're super excited for, to kind of get things rolling. And, there's still a few things that are unknown of, when things are going to start and how things are kind of going to play itself out. But I know I've talked to a few of the guys. Guys are super excited, and just ready to kind of get going. And like you said, that first year is definitely a feeling out process. I think it was a great opportunity for those guys to come in and play, even though it wasn't a full year. But to put that first season under your belt as a younger guy, it definitely allows you to come into the season this year, running and feel like you're comfortable, understand your role, on the team and within the organization. So I think it's a pretty exciting time.
Well, you just brought up something that I was rather curious about was, during the summer and the days of virtual get-togethers, digital, whether you're FaceTiming or text messaging with each other, you are the team captain. So everybody kind of rallies around you and wanting to check in and see how it's going. Are you already putting that C back on your t-shirt when you're walking around in the summer? But, at the same time, keeping in touch with everybody because you want to make as little of an adjustment time as possible when you actually see each other again in the same locker room.
Yeah, I've always been a guy just to, that's kind of always been my personality. Even my first couple of years here in Hershey, before I wore a letter, I've always tried to be a personable guy and just one of those guys that somebody can, lean on or ask a question to. So, I've had quite a few guys reach out to me and, just wonder obviously how summer's going and talking to them about that. But, just also there's little things with, whether it's insurance stuff or, the day-to-day stuff of off ice. That's always kind of where I've tried to. I had great mentors, growing up, playing here in Hershey, and so I've just tried to pass that on to guys and make that transition seamless because, there's a lot of questions. I know I had a lot of questions at 20, 21 years old, wondering how things were going to work itself out, and if I can help young guys out, then perfect. It's it's been pretty seamless for me to. Just to come into an organization, a new organization, I guess that's now a year and a half ago, and really not have to, change too much. I just kind of came in to Rockford when I first got there and it was just me, played my game and I was fortunate that it has worked out for me.
Well, now looking at your on-ice performance last year, 29 games out of the 30 plus that were able to get under your belt for the Rockford IceHogs, one of the team leaders in that category. Not only a leader off the ice, but on the ice. You grab a handful of points, 35 hits, which was second on the team. A lot of face-offs and key moments in the face-off circle for you and the IceHogs over the course of the year. As a player now, putting on that player's hat and the skates back on again, I mean, what's your drive going into a brand new season? It is year number 11 for Garrett Mitchell.
Yeah, that's crazy. Double digits. But no, it's been crazy. I look back and I had some conversations with guys before I left just saying, hey, this goes quick. I would never have thought that, coming to Hershey as a 20-year-old kid, that I would be playing 11 years pro. It's been crazy. It's been an awesome ride. But at the same time, there's so much to enjoy about it. The friendships that I've made throughout the years, those are lifetimes. So, I'm excited for those younger guys to, just get started. And also for myself, I'm excited to get going. I think I've got more to give and, putting fans back in the stands, a lot of, I talk to guys too, a lot of the momentum in hockey, is built off the fans and interactions with the fans. And, some of the best relationships I've made in the game are through those, whether you see somebody at the grocery store and you start talking to them and, before you know it, you're related to them or whatever. And it's such a small world and those connections go a lifetime. So, for myself, I'm excited to get going. Like I said, I think, production wise, I think I can be, a lot better and I'm excited to kind of be able to feed off the building's energy. And, I tell people all the time, Rockford's an awesome place to play. I was able to experience it a year and a half ago in front of, full buildings. And it's an exciting place to play. I know the fans, when we get the fans back in the stands, coming up this year, they're going to be excited to jump in and start cheering. So we're excited as a team, excited as an organization.
Last time we caught up with you, Garrett, you were talking about the drive a lot. You had a lot of questions about what was the drive for the IceHogs last season with no playoffs, just trying to, again, some call it a 30-day training camp. But for guys like yourself that want to find that next contract or that next bonus, turn an AHL deal to an NHL deal or a tryout agreement to an AHL contract, that drive was there. And certainly it's paid off for you with the contract. Now, moving into the rest of the offseason at the beginning of the season, what's driving Garrett Mitchell into a new year?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think the biggest thing for myself is just coming in prepared, ready to play. Like you said, there was a spot for everybody this past season. Whether, like you said, whether that was trying to get a call up to the taxi squad, whether that was trying to stay in the lineup, or whether that was trying to to be around. Whether that was an NHL contract from an AHL, or an ECHL contract to a full-time AHL contract. There was something there for everybody. And that was one of the biggest things that I kept trying to stress to the guys is that, even though there's no playoffs and, it's tough. It's tough to be motivated in front of an empty building every night and go out and play, your best and as hard as you can. But at the same time, everybody's always watching. There's someone watching. It might be the first time they've seen you play. So make it count. And we had the buy-in from the guys was awesome. So now it's just a matter of turning that around, and now you've got a chance. Now you got a chance to go up and play. And I talk to guys a lot. There's not going to be that 7-man taxi squad this year. So those guys are going to be down, and or they're going to find a spot for those guys somewhere. And so there's a lot of guys that coming into camp. We've got to be ready, and that's the nature and the beauty of what we do as professional athletes. And you come to camp and you're in your ice time. You put your head down and just go to work. So we're excited for it. I think talking to Kinger and Bernie and Anders and everybody else, it's pretty exciting time for us right now.
Now, before I let you go, Garrett, you get the deal done. Now you get to enjoy some summertime with your family. I know you love taking your daughters out and having a good time with them, but it is already July, and then you're going to move into August, and then it's going to be pretty much hockey weather, training camp time in September. What's the rest of the summer hold before the IceHogs and yourself get back rolling again?
Yeah. Well, I've been just being a little bit of a swim dad here. My two daughters are on a swim team here locally. So I've been doing some time in at swim meets and cheering them on, and there's nothing that gives me more joy than watching them collect a ribbon and watching them swim across the pool for the first time. So as a parent and as a fellow athlete myself, it's a pretty special thing. So I've been doing that. We're a little quick trip out to California for a few days, Palm Springs, and then it'll be back right into the thick of it, start skating here right away. And it's one of those things that kind of, you get your month off and 2-3 weeks not training, whatever, and get back in the gym. And, a couple of weeks ago when I got back in the gym there for the first time, it's pretty stiff couple of days, but it's been great. So I've tried to enjoy as much time as I can with the family and my little girls, and, just try to be Mr. Mom here for a little bit, take the pressure off my wife, and, we'll get right back into it for the season.
Well, Garrett, enjoy it. Congratulations on the contract, and we look forward to seeing you back here in the state line here pretty soon.
Perfect. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.